Well, so, we're at it again. Well, not exactly. To be honest, I didn't really want to do this, but I feel like, okay, that one battle happened, so I'll let me try it again. Well, maybe not like a battle per se, but hopefully that leads up to an interesting stream battle, because I liked it the last one, and I think I'll be ready to be the contender for the second, if I am the second. Anyways, you know what, I'm just gonna review that one YouTuber that Spino has been through for some time, well, maybe years ago, you know, UnknownFlickz. I finished up Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous with all 3 seasons so far. I don't know. Hey, if it's a 4th season, I'll wonder if the Spinozilla is gonna show up, if we have a 4th season. But regardless, I'm just doing this review of this Season 3 review because I want to see if there's any good points to mention about Camp Cretaceous Season 3 specifically. So anyways, let's just make sure we get through this broken chase and just get on to it.
Alright, so I just finished Season 3. Oh, not just, but like 30 minutes ago or something like that. I just finished Season 3.
So that was a different time, but at this point, this is the same situation I have gone through. I just finished it, like, it was a couple of minutes ago. Probably, maybe even 20, 30, but yeah. That part, I'm actually agreeable, so, yeah. Let's just get through the main course. Because if Spinozilla told me anything, don't bait or leech through the whole video, okay? You don't want to make that same mistake last time. Okay, let's now get to it.
I mean, Season 2 pointless. And they decided to try again, but there's a newly freed threat. It's out to get them that's more dangerous and unstable than the Indominus Rex. And some other stuff, obviously, but yeah. This is gonna be pretty spoilery. If I talk about the stuff they have in mind.
Well, yeah, insert obvious spoiler alert for Season 3, and possibly the other seasons, but mostly Season 3. Okay, let's get to it now. Okay, this is just for the people who don't want to get spoiled yet, even though I think most of you probably have already seen it by now.
You know. So, I mean, because I do have some problems, but I have more positive stuff to say than negative.
Okay, let's see what's the good compared to the bad.
Sorry. So one thing, I guess I have a problem with, is I think towards the end, it did, I don't know, briefly remind me of the 2nd season, as well as the deaths did get a little too off-screen for me, and it wasn't really intense, with Dr. Wu, because you knew he was going to survive. Same thing with Blue in that fight with the 2 Scorpius Rexes, because apparently there's 2, and I guess they bred asexually, like...
I mean, even if Dr. Henry Wu and Blue had plot turmoil because of how the story progressed, I'm not completely bad about it. It's just how the story progressed. Simple enough.
Tension with those, but at least they were kind of cool. You know, the soldiers there were obviously just expendable people to die.
Well, I think I am doing better at not stuttering in this case. Well, compared to my previous videos anyways. Well, I mean, it's a good breathal, but we're not here for breathals for this video. So let's just stop and just get to the main point. Okay, for real this time.
The Scorpius Rex does look a little weird, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I get it, yeah. It's a failed prototype, but it does look a little weird. I do think Kenji's a bit too stupid throughout this, like, actually, like, kind of, like, retarded almost. Like, I know that's an overused adjective, but he makes some pretty stupid decisions. In, like, episode 2, they decide to go on the boat and have a party, even though there's, like, pterosaurs and other stuff that could kill the shit out of you. Probably would kill the shit, or try to kill the shit that came out of you, because they just kill anything. But, like...
Just because pteranodons and dimorphodons could fly over the island doesn't mean that their straight target would have been at the boat. Again, And maybe if the lights were more obvious in the dark, as we saw with the season 1, when in the monorail scene. So, and and most of the lights happened before that. And besides, I don't think the pteranodons will fully load by colored lights compared to just simple flashlights, to be honest.
Silver's Island. They would kill you. And he makes too many dumb decisions. Like, at the end, I guess he's mad because he wanted to just give the laptop to them and let them have their stuff, even though, like, they're going to create more monsters. Wasn't he terrified of the Scorpius Rex? Didn't kill people, but, like, because no one was there besides him. So, yeah. That just didn't really make too much sense.
I think Kenji was not trying to risk anything when trying to save one of his friend's life. If they were trying to take yeah, it's probably could have been a bad decision, but but in his eyes, he was not trying to not risk anything for anyone's life. It was for the Campbells in general.
Oh, okay, the thing is, they're going to create monsters. They're going to create more. Why are you mad? Because they did their version and it almost worked. Because I'm pretty sure they're all together at the end. Last time I checked. Like, hold on. Like, let me check. Let me just see images of the ending, because I'm pretty sure I remember Brooklyn being there with them. So I think she was there, but the point is, yeah, that just kind of felt weird. He does make some other dumb decisions that I forget. I mean, I don't know if I have that many problems with the show. Like, cause the pacing's pretty good, all that stuff. I mean, yeah, I could have been a little bit more violent, at least towards the end. It got a bit too nerd. It wasn't really super duper intense with all the Doctor Who stuff. I guess looking into the good stuff I like the characters. There's this whole thing where, I guess, wasn't really accepting the fact that I guess her and Sammy were like friends. And there's kind of like a character arc with that, so that was nice. Gradually Kenji did have some bits of usefulness. It was kind of likable. The other characters were pretty likable too. There's this whole thing with the Dimorphodon that was also kind of like not really intense, because don't they like barely weigh anything? So like, so it would be pretty easy to just kick the shit out of them, like literally just stomp them to death. But yeah.
To be fair, I would rather not get my foot or leg bitten by a dinosaur that would probably be around the size of my arm for its head. And those teeth if those teeth bought my leg, it would hurt badly. Maybe not as bad as something like Scorpius, but it would still be pretty nasty and painful. Even if it was small. They had big heads for a reason.
But yeah, even that scene itself, there were some cool parts to it, like the hang gliding. It did have a lot of references to the other films, but at least it kind of did subversion, kind of, like with the, there's this whole thing with the, Scorpius Rex, and now it's, like, hypnotized by heat, and they did that one thing. It was like a reference to the original Jurassic Park, where the raptors in the kitchen. And I thought it was going to be exactly like it, but not. It was kind of like Jurassic World, where the dinosaur broke in after they thought it was fine, like in the Jeep scene. Then, it's hypnotized by the heat thing, heat from, like, the stove or whatever. I found that whole thing kind of interesting. I guess actually another problem I have, one more brief one, is that they showed all the Scorpius Rex a bit too early. No. When they first show it, it's fine. Episode 5, like, it's when it's shown, you see more of it, that's fine. But I think they show, like, all of it immediately, just like Jurassic Park 3, like, so there's no mystery as to what some of it looks like. But yeah, I think that's all my problems.
You could have said the exact same thing for Evil the Indominus Rex from Jurassic World, We get a little bit of like a tease of it, but then you get to see the whole thing later on midway through the movie, so it's not be that much of a big deal. I mean, hey, I think the Interruptor had like the best sequence of like the tease so at the start, and then you get to see it sew up before it gets to the climax. But it could be just me.
Cool, the Scorpius Rex was kind of intense. I did like that. It could climb. This season was generally much more darker, and I guess the Scorpius Rex helped. I did like the poisonous tip things, and while there were moments that kind of felt convenient, it was fine. It wasn't that bad, honestly. Um, yeah, Scorpius Rex was cool. I guess the twist with the second one was fine, but it kind of felt a bit out of nowhere, but at least the fight with the two and Blue was kind of cool, although it kind of reminded me of the fight in Jurassic World, in Jurassic World.
Wait, Jurassic World? I think it would make sense if you were mentioning the one from Fallen Kingdom with Interaptor versus Blue, because, Blue getting onto the Scorpius back. It could actually explain why Blue did pretty well against Interaptor in Fallen Kingdom. Because Indominus, yeah, until Roberto or Wexy if you want to call her so up, yes, he got slashed once and was temporarily down for account for a bit.
Like, I guess the characters were still pretty likable. I did like how the ending kind of tied up with Fallen Kingdom. I didn't like that movie, but I do like how it connected.
Oh boy, Fallen Kingdom. Well, I can say one thing. I can't wait to see Spinozilla's finale to Fallen Kingdom whenever that happens. Yeah, that's it.
Showed after, and we finally got an explanation. So it was 6 months after Jurassic World. I'm so confused how the Mosasaurus is still alive. It realistically shouldn't be because that thing needs a lot of food to survive. So yeah, that was kind of cool though. Tying it together. So 6 months. There's some extra kills. It was kind of intense. T-Rex was there, so that was cool. It didn't feel like it was dragging on, but I guess it's kind of like the point. Like they desperately want to get out. The ending was kind of cool. They finally got off the island. Another thing is they did show more dinosaurs, which was cool. They did show more dinosaurs, like the one that looks like an Edmontosaurus. Like had a baby with a Spinosaurus, like has a sail. That was cool.
That dinosaur was a Roundosaurus. You're welcome.
Some ones like the Gallimimus and the Brachiosaurus, but there was one cool shot where like the Scorpius Rex was getting closer, and you saw like a Brachiosaurus just getting killed by it like off screen, and that was kind of cool. It's like, oh shoot, it's coming close, but it was kind of ruined by a really small thing where they were just kind of like staying there. There are some moments where I'm like, come on, dude, move, and maybe that's kind of a slight problem, but it's not that bad. I did kind of like the debate about whether or not Ben should stay, so that was kind of cool. I liked his character generally ever since season 2 when he came back. He's been pretty cool. I actually want to. After my final thing I'll talk about how these characters are probably better than known already. More interesting at least. So yeah, I like that they finally got off the island and all this stuff with Ben. And I do like how they showed more dinosaurs. That was cool. And it wasn't just, like more crazy action scenes. It just showed more dinosaurs and that was cool.
I think I already get it. Okay?
I'm glad they got off. I don't want a fourth time around because there's only so many places that you can show. Like, do Isla Sorna once for some other movie. I don't know if I want a fourth season where they do that, but
if we do get a season 4, I do hope they do go to Sorna, because I actually want to know what happened to the place after the Spinosaurus messed everything up. To be honest. And also, I do actually really like Jurassic Park 3. Another time, I probably will explain more why I like Jurassic Park 3. Not now, but definitely in another time.
I do like the Ceratosaurus kill where the Scorpius Rex came after it. I actually thought it looked pretty much like a Baryonyx briefly. That kill had it was sudden, it was cool. Not sure I didn't see it like from the side, but it could have been really fast. It is usually very fast and hides in the trees. I do like that you see like its vision. Kind of reminds me of the Predator when you see its vision. And the audio, like the audio stuff was pretty neat, pretty nasty, like bone crunching and all that stuff. So it definitely did get more violent. Like yeah, it was more implied, but still it's like crunching noises and all that shit. So that was cool.
Yeah, the whole Scorpius vision scene is really good. Like, if Pong does a Down Bad World Championship with Scorpius Rex, which I do hope he faces Giganotosaurus. Well, this may be off topic, but I better hope if he does do Scorpius, he better have the vision sequence so it's just like in Camp Cretaceous, because that's one of the best parts of just seeing the vision of Scorpius Rex with the infrared structure, so like a snake, maybe like Indominus, and it looks really good. Yeah, it's one of the best parts of Scorpius is like that vision where you're just seeing the creature just prowl its victims against the Yellow Mimus, for example, and I think episode 4. Like, it's really good. For like that sequence, like really cool in my opinion. So that's a point I can agree on, Dale.
It was cool. And I guess we'll talk about that whole thing with the kids. I think they're more badass than Grady because one of them befriended an Ankylosaurus. Granted, it was there from birth, but still, they fought off Carnotaurs, I don't know.
Listen, that Carnotaurus was specifically given the name Toro. Literally, that Carnotaurus is simply nicknamed Toro. You could have just said Toro, and yeah. I mean, I think they made a whole joke about how the kind of title of Ben mentioned how they beat Toro, which is kind of funny because, because, like, do people really think that, that one kid defeated a Carnotaurus? And also, just because I did saw it parts, no, Toro didn't die. He was definitely beaten badly, if you want to know. He was beaten badly, but he wasn't killed, because I remember in Fallen Kingdom, I think we may have actually saw Toro near the end. Anyways.
They got these 2 Scorpius Rexes killed. One of them made peace with Blue, or at least stopped him from killing them, helping fight the Scorpius Rexes without any previous... Well, there was some previous involvement with them in, like, first season, I think. That was briefly. It was kind of against them. Like, they're trying to get... Like, Blue's trying to kill Kenji and Darius. So that was cool. And they survived for, like, 6 months. So I actually think they're more badass and interesting than Grady, because honestly, I don't care about him. He's just, like, kind of boring to me. He's not really that interesting. Chris Pratt is a bad actor. Maybe the character isn't... I don't know. It's just kind of boring to me. Same thing with Claire. These characters are actually kind of interesting. They're actually badass because they managed to survive on this island. Managed to kind of stop Dr. Wu. All this stuff. Well, not really. I mean, briefly, but still. Managed to survive in this crazy place. Have some fun. Make their own home. Survive against crazy new dinosaurs that no one even knew existed. Bar, Dr. Wu, but still. General people. And it was cool. I think they were badass and cool and better than Grady and Claire during. So there's that. Overall, I think this season's pretty good. Maybe good, I don't know. I'm stuck between like a B+ or B, so that's like my grade, B+ or B, one of those. So yeah, I actually like this season. And I'm not like trying to make my opinion more positive just so a few fucking losers can be more happy. I don't care. Like, I like this season. It was entertaining. I might rewatch the show. The second season is like less rewatchable because it does feel kind of pointless, but first season's worse. Second season, it's like the first season I probably put like a D or D+. Like, it's really bad, but it's enjoyable at times. I guess I have to rewatch it. Second season's pretty bad, but it's better, and then the season's actually good. So yeah, I'll see you next time, whatever that is. Hopefully the Exist review I know on another unedited review.
Okay, we could stop it there. Anyways, this is actually an alright review, surprisingly. I mean, so I'm gonna have to talk my own opinions about the series, but I liked it all the seasons pretty well. I liked the introduction in season 1, so can't do great with all the introduction sequences, but it was a great season 1, and no, it's not because, but not because of how it references Jurassic World when Indominus came in to mess everything up, but it did at least explain, like, why the Indominus wasn't in all the scenes, for example, explained, like, okay, why the Indominus was Sail, and then you see it with that scene, and, so it was pretty good for Indominus Rex screen time. Continuing onward, Season 2 was actually pretty great, but once again, could I please have some respect for Grimm, the Baryonyx? Yeah, I don't think Grimm needed that. Yeah. Respects for Grimm, the Baryonyx. Okay, that's good enough, and I have to say, this was actually a pretty decent review from UnknownFlickz. Anyways, but I'm not saying I'm gonna be leaving this video unwanted or like that's it, because there's one thing I want to mention about, and that is this. UnknownFlickz, if you are watching this video, which I doubt, but if you are, I'm gonna challenge you into a battle. Not like a video game battle. It's, if you saw the live stream that Dino King and Gold guy was in and Spinozilla's stream, I want to do one that's Jurassic Park / Jurassic World themed, or maybe even dinosaur themed, to see which one's better. And here's my part. If I win, you would have to make another collab video with either Spinozilla or me. If you're gonna do me, then it will be one based off of one of my favorite dinosaur video games, being Fossil Files Champions, and talk about the game, some of the designs of Vivosaurs, the story, stuff like that, if you haven't played it, and what you think of it. And if you win, then you could make your reply to the video here, if you are going to be making a video. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want to make a challenge, because, you know, I'm getting tired of having to see people mention about the "this is just cringe" from Spinozilla, because at this point, listen, I'm not the person that's just, oh, I made Spinozilla cringe at something. I mean, he wasn't even fully mad with that video. He was more disappointed. So that's why I'm wanting to set up something, because, you know, this could actually be kind of fun, or maybe a little bit interesting. But I need to see your response to it. Well, nonetheless, I pretty much did all I wanted to say. This is maybe beef, this may not been beef. This could be just an interesting or pointless review. All I know is that hopefully, I think you're doing alright, you know? And I appreciate that you do at least respect people's opinions. But nonetheless, I hope I see you soon. And nonetheless, I'll see you guys next time. In another day. That is